This message comes from Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use. Meet Monday Sidekick, your AI-powered work BFF that handles everything for you, from daily briefings to risk analysis. Start your free trial at Monday.com.
For years now, Hollywood insiders, critics, and audiences alike have bemoaned the decline of the movie star. And instead, it feels like we've gone from Hollywood stars to Hollywood IP, franchises, sequels, and sagas that dependably get people into theaters. Until 2020. Then, things got shaky. Theater going dropped, streaming skyrocketed, and the box office has been on a rocky journey to recovery.
There was this really catchy motto going around that, all Hollywood had to do was survive until 2025.
That is Shirley Lee. She's a staff writer for The Atlantic that covers culture.
There are a lot of franchises on the horizon with sequels and reboots and live-action remakes.
Like many film enthusiasts, Shirley watched the 2025 summer box office for that big blockbuster success. But despite a big Memorial Day weekend from the final installment in the Mission Impossible series and the $1 billion success of Disney's live-action Lilo and Stitch, Hollywood has been on a roller coaster ride of highs and lows.
You look at the stats and there's been this deficit this summer compared to last summer's earnings. Over time, I think people have been expecting Hollywood to earn more and more year over year as people go back to theaters.
And usually, if a film isn't necessarily making bank in American theaters, Hollywood could make up domestic losses internationally.
Historically, China has been this advantageous market for Hollywood, especially for the summer box office. And so before, I'd say the past couple of years, you saw Hollywood really catering to China. They'd have these films that would do well domestically, but then they'd be like, well, China will make up whatever we're missing here if it didn't appeal.
But according to Shirley, even that's changed.
If you look at franchises that have done well overseas, specifically at the Chinese box office, they've been earning less and less over time. So if you look at how Mission Impossible Fallout did in 2022, it grossed about $181 million. This year, Final Reckoning came out. That was the latest installment. It made, in China, $65 million.
This decline is part of a growing shift in the Chinese box office for Hollywood. Over the years, China has built out its local film industry and audiences have followed. And now, there's a new kid on the block. And he's the star of the highest grossing animated film of all time.
Time to cut you down to size!
He's not exactly your average kid.
Ne Zha 2, the sequel to an already huge blockbuster success in China. The series is based in Chinese folklore and mythology and stars the mischievous but lovable Ne Zha and his flying pig. Shirley credits some of its success to timing. It released over Lunar New Year, a big movie-going time in China, and the universality of the story.
It is a very long film, but it's just this visual feast that is at its core about friendship and saving your family and your hometown. And it's kind of made to appeal to as many people as possible.
But for Shirley, its impact goes far beyond box office records.
Just because Hollywood has produced the likes of Marvel and DC superheroes, made them the movie stars of our modern era, doesn't mean that international markets can't also produce their own movie stars.
Today on the show, Shirley joins me to look into how streaming and the success of Ne Zha 2 complicate our ideas of Hollywood's influence, and how this shift may impact our viewing tastes for years to come. Hello, hello. I'm Brittany Luce, and you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR, a show about what's going on in culture and why it doesn't happen by accident.
So it's the effect of the pandemic changing people's viewing habits. People got really used to watching things on streaming. The exhibition window has really, narrowed over time as studios have struck these deals to just have films play for a couple weeks tops before they're available at home. Because audiences have gotten used to watching things at home, why are they going to be shelling out, rather high prices to go to movie theaters. It's just habits have changed and new habits have formed. So that's definitely a big part of this, I think. And then I think something that's really emerged this summer has been the fact that there's just a lot more available on streaming.
Okay, so bearing all of this in mind, how do we define blockbuster success now? Like, does it have to be like a Barbenheimer situation, or is there some type of middle ground?
I think the goalposts have shifted. So, for example, before the pandemic, it's kind of like if a film did overseas in China, earned 100 million to 200 million, that's a blockbuster. You see this with, the Transformers franchise. If it made hundreds of millions of dollars in China, oh, it's a global blockbuster. We're absolutely fine. Now, it's been kind of like it's considered more of a success if it's making $50 million in China.
Okay, so there's been a lot of talk around, what summer films were going to save theaters in America in 2025. What do you think Ne Zha 2's success indicates about what's to come in the global movie industry?
There's a lot more attention that needs to be paid from Hollywood to these international franchises. It's not just a film like Ne Zha 2 doing well. It's a Japanese anime like Demon Slayer topping the box office. It's K-pop Demon Hunters. I know that's a Hollywood film, but that is a film that points to a diverse array of, sorry to use the word, content available outside of theatrical. And it just kind of indicates that franchises don't belong to Hollywood anymore. Major IP isn't just a Hollywood thing. Just because Jurassic World Rebirth did really well this summer doesn't mean that it's doing as well as previous entries in the Jurassic World franchise. Animation is something that has also been doing much better for Asian markets over the years. And so it is just this idea that sure, maybe F1 is doing well, but Brad Pitt has competition. Tom Cruise has competition.
Yeah.
Ne Zha is a movie star in his own right.
You brought up another movie called Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle. This is a film that you said it's based on an anime series, Demon Slayer. It hasn't just been successful. It broke box office records. It's the highest grossing Japanese film of all time on a global level. In the US, Demon Slayer's second week, right? So not even like the first week where you're getting the first blush of filmgoers. The second week beat out the opening gross of both him, a Jordan Peele produced horror film, and A Big Bold Beautiful Journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Two beloved actors that American audiences love, and each of whom actually has just kind of come off of playing a huge franchise role, the Penguin in Colin Farrell's case and Barbie in Margot Robbie's case. I'll say these are films that, again, going by conventional wisdom, it's like, okay, is this Japanese animated film based on anime going to outdo Margot Robbie and Jordan Peele's name as a producer? You would think no. But to your point, franchises do not belong solely to Hollywood. And it seems like that's a lesson that people are learning right now.
It's that, and it's also, as audiences, we should be thinking about what draws us to theaters. I want to see everything in theaters as a movie lover myself too, but it is kind of like, did I go to Barbie because of Margot Robbie or because I wanted to see how Barbie was being interpreted?
Yeah.
So is Margot Robbie as a name the draw? Did I watch The Penguin for Colin Farrell, or did I watch it because I was curious how they were going to interpret this character? So once again, it's like, who's the movie star here? Is it the franchise, the property, the character?
Coming up, is Hollywood still the tastemaker in the film space?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a terrifying question for executives here. But
more from Shirley when we get back.
Support for NPR and the following message come from HP. Ready to meet the personal AI assistant that lives right on your PC? Introducing the HP AI PC with AI Companion. Experience working with powerful AI tools at your fingertips, even when you're offline. Analyze multiple documents at once, get key takeaways from long articles, or upload a 50-page contract and ask your PC to summarize the risks. And when you need to analyze sensitive files securely, just switch to on-device mode to keep your data local, private, and secure. With HP AI PCs, you get to focus on creative, strategic work and let AI handle the rest. Because HP believes that with the right tools, work doesn't have to feel like work. Learn more at hp.com/AIPC.
This message comes from Ritual. What makes Ritual vitamins different? Ritual vitamins are made with bioavailable, clinically studied key ingredients and a patented nutrient delivery system that aims to help your body use the nutrients you're getting. Ritual's essential multivitamins are made with you and your body in mind and backed by scientific research, filled with key ingredients as well as the essence of mint so you can enjoy taking your vitamins. Get 25% off your first purchase when you visit ritual.com/NPR.
Support for NPR and the following message come from HP. Ready to meet the personal AI assistant that lives right on your PC? Introducing the HP AI PC with AI Companion. Experience working with powerful AI tools at your fingertips, even when you're offline. Analyze multiple documents at once, get key takeaways from long articles, or upload a 50-page contract and ask your PC to summarize the risks. And when you need to analyze sensitive files securely, just switch to on-device mode to keep your data local, private, and secure. With HP AI PCs, you get to focus on creative, strategic work and let AI handle the rest. Because HP believes that with the right tools, work doesn't have to feel like work. Learn more at hp.com/AIPC.
I wonder, though, what do you think the success of both Demon Slayer and Ne Zha 2 say about Americans' film appetites and how they might be changing?
I mean, I should point out that when Ne Zha 2 was re-released in America over the summer by A24, this outfit that used to be really indie, it didn't do all that well at the box office. They re-released it with an English dub led by Michelle Yeoh. So that's a data point that's also important to look at.
I mean, living in New York, I interact with advertising all of the time. So I see billboards, I see out-of-home ads that are in subways and subway stations. And I learned about Ne Zha 2 from our producer, Alexis. You know, to your point, A24 did take over distribution in the US, but I have no clue how fervent or tepid they were in promoting this film.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that American audiences didn't respond necessarily to Ne Zha, but they have responded to Demon Slayer. I think when you look at the macro of how this year has gone, it's kind of like, okay, the franchises did well. Like, Mission Impossible did well enough. Jurassic World did well enough. The new Superman did well enough. But nothing has really, taken off quite the way that K-pop Demon Hunters has. I know I keep bringing that up. But Ne Zha and Demon Slayer, the fact that they've done well globally, truly globally, is something to pay attention to. It's kind of like, is it now, instead of, I don't know, the Asian markets being this asterisk of we'll make up money there. Is it actually kind of like maybe the US North American market isn't something that needs to be looked at or scrutinized the way it has in the past?
Hollywood, I think, has been considered the tastemaker in the film space. Even if to a certain degree, right, Hollywood is looking to Japan or looking to Hong Kong or looking to Korea or looking for Italy to look at these other filmmakers to be well, how are they doing things and what can we borrow? Even though to a certain, I think, a stylistic level and storytelling level, is Hollywood still the tastemaker in the film space? And what might a future look like where Hollywood is no longer, the international leader of the film industry?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a terrifying question for executives here. But I will say, we got to take all the data points from this year with a grain of salt, right? These trends, like we said at the top, the box office has been fluctuating over the course of this summer. I think that indicates that things are still kind of shaky. Who knows which way it'll shake out? And it's going to take years for Hollywood to adjust. Films take a long time to be made. Next year, there's more than a dozen franchise films coming out anyway. So it's not like anything's going to be changing dramatically. But, just to kind of look far ahead, I do think the films that we've been seeing of late from Hollywood, they still have been making an impact. But the fact that the goalpost has shifted from considering crossing $100 million at the Chinese box office a success to crossing $50 million, that's a success enough. I could see that number going down over time, where it's kind of like, oh, if we made $25 million in China, that's pretty good for us. The fact that mid-budget films, there's still a lack of them.
Yeah, they feel like a thing of the past in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think something like Materialists just crossed a certain threshold, and it took it, months. Here's the thing, it's like international audiences, they want, like any audience, good movies, a good time at the theaters. I think the narrative about films like Superman being too focused on American themes isn't the primary factor behind why Superman didn't do as well as Man of Steel did abroad. But I do think maybe there is a factor here where films that are about American exceptionalism or about American themes aren't appealing to international audiences. Not when news about America doesn't necessarily match up.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. In many of the kinds of superhero films, let's say, that we push out of Hollywood, America is the hero. And if, some people who are on the receiving end of America's foreign policy, they might not feel the same way.
Right, exactly.
And so those movies may not hit the same way that they do here.
Exactly. As beloved as those characters may be, there's now homegrown characters abroad, like Ne Zha, that are even more beloved. It's hard to tell what's going to happen in 5-10 years, but I could see the goalposts shifting again. And I could see there just being a lot more competition abroad. And maybe that will inspire Hollywood, to be even more creative in not, pushing their franchises forward instead of trying to just appeal to the bottom line of like, oh, Chinese audiences like us. Let's include some Chinese actor here that they'll recognize. Instead, it'll be about just let's continue to make good films and quality and characters they can root for. And the cynical view of this is that we will just get more franchise filmmaking, more Transformers. or because this trend has been changing and you can't so easily get Asian markets to respond to you, maybe it's about focusing on the stories told here and getting mid-budget films up again.
Who knows? Listen, every fall when I see the kinds of films that people want to return to,
Yeah.
Whether it's like a Hocus Pocus or When Harry Met Sally or You've Got Mail, at the end of the day, the people yearn for a mid-budget film. The American people yearn. We yearn.
They really do. We yearn, and there hasn't been enough yearning. Everyone's been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty this summer, and I'm like, there's not a rival film in theaters for this.
I wonder, what are some films that you are looking forward to this fall?
I will say at the top of my list is Wicked for Good. I am really looking forward.
I get it, girl. I get it. I was a theater kid in high school when Wicked hit Broadway. Okay. I wore that like double disc out. Okay. I wore the soundtrack out. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you. And I'm an Arianator, which is like a whole other issue. That's my girl. I'm going to stick beside her. Yes.
Right, exactly. I mean, like, I also, come on. Also, she is spectacular in this role, and I'm looking forward to seeing her kill it again. There's also the new Catherine Bigelow, A House of Dynamite. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Chloe Zhao's Hamnet is...
I can't wait to see it.
Beautiful.
I didn't see Eternals, but I saw The Rider, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, I think she is such a humanist director. By that, I mean, I think she just understands that, the human experience is about loss and how to get past it. There are so many great films coming out this fall, but I think those are the top 3. I mentioned Hamnet because I kind of want to see it again. Actually, I really want to see it again. So
wow. Okay, I'm excited because I haven't seen it yet, but I think I'll be seeing it soon. So I'm excited about that. But my gosh, Shirley, you've given me so much to think about today. I really appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That was staff writer for The Atlantic, Shirley Lee. And I'm going to put on my influencer hat for a second and ask you to please subscribe to this show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're listening. Click follow so you know the latest in culture while it's still hot. This episode of It's Been a Minute was produced by
Alexis Williams.
This episode was edited by
Nina Pathak.
Our supervising producer is
Barton Girdwood.
Our executive producer is
Verilyn Williams.
Our VP of programming is
Yolanda Sanguini.
All right, that's all for this episode of It's Been a Minute from NPR. I'm Brittany Luce. Talk soon.
Support for NPR and the following message come from IXL Online. Is your child asking questions on their homework you don't feel equipped to answer? IXL Learning uses advanced algorithms to give the right help to each kid, no matter the age or personality. One subscription gets you everything. One site for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And NPR listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/NPR.
This message comes from Bonterra. Your nonprofit's mission is big, but your team is small. With fundraising software from Bonterra's Network for Good, you can focus on changing lives. Big impact, less stress. Learn more at bonterratech.com/NFG. This message comes from NPR sponsor Rosetta Stone, an expert in language learning for 30 years. Right now, NPR listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership to 25 different languages for 50% off. Learn more at rosettastone.com/NPR.